At all. I must have kind of wiped out my... But yeah,
you're a true gentleman, clearly. You're very discreet.
But time for romance in this film is short-lived. So they come into the end of the battle. One of the great challenges for the actors at this stage is that they're fighting things that they can't even see.
The battle scenes have been amazing, yeah. There's some great scenes in the courtyard where it's just basically all the Death Eaters against kind of the students. And it's just a massive, like, real epic.
Carnage.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, the giants and the spiders. And aren't there the animated... the
thestrals and
your thestrals.
your statues, your ghosts.
Your statues come to life with your ghosts.
And don't forget the snake.
Kill the snake. We have to kill the snake.
Did you get the snake?
I've now said that line or variants of that line is all I say for the last 45 minutes. That's essentially what I do. Kill the snake! We've got to kill the snake! We have to kill the snake! It's all, you know, it's all very much about the snake.
And are you going to get it right at some point so we're going to go to lunch?
That's a good question. Although, you are only coming here for a day, you are a guest, a little bit of decorum.
But the battles, it's coming towards the climax, which they're shooting out there. And Neville's been through the wars since day one. I mean, he's had the whole year at school. He's just been beaten and tortured by the Death Eaters. I mean, all these are sort of supposed to be older wounds.
So they're just a build-up of wounds?
Yeah, over the year, where he's, you know, stood up for Dumbledore and what's right, and he's paid the price for it, really. Whereas this one's a new one. This happens in the burns as well.
Look at the burns.
This is from the bridge scene where Neville has to try and halt the advancing Death Eaters. And they plant some charges on the bridge, a bit like a bridge too far.
Right.
And he's on the bridge when it goes down. And then he's just been, again, a bit more. Voldemort's just fired him through with a spell, and he's come 50 yards into here, across all this rubble, and landed somewhere over there.
Down that way?
On those beds over there.
Handy stretchers to land on.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a comfortable fall?
I think that's how he survived, with the stretchers. Okay. So he got up and...
What have they got, in the world of magic and wonderful craziness, why have they got Second World War mattresses?
I can't answer that.
No.
I can't answer that.
But at least you survived.
But yes, we survived. Yeah, so we're okay. And he gets up and then stumbles out here for the climax of the battle.
I've seen you waving a sword about, and
the sword of Gryffindor.
Look,
here it is.
This is the sword keeper.
Here we go. This is the sword of Godric Gryffindor.
Can I have a
feel? Do, isn't it? Go for it.
Ooh, that's got a nice weight to it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
So do you get given sort of like sword fighting lessons?
We had a few. Like,
can you give me a tip? Am I holding it correctly? Is this?
You're holding it fine, I guess. Okay. I mean,
I'm from Essex, so I have some history with sword fighting.
Okay, right. Well, I guess the main thing is to have a very sort of a firm grip on the sword for a start.
Right.
And then you block it. When it's blocked, we're blocking spells. Yeah. We're actually sword fighting.
Okay, so it's a bit.
So
like
it has to be a very extravagant sort of.
Go on, show me.
Well, what we've been doing is sort of when we're blocking the spells, it's very sort of all the way up like that, and then blocking them away, really sort of.
It's almost like a sliced backhand on a table tennis table.
Exactly. Yeah,
but with the sword.
Slicing it that way.
Talk me through what you're doing, because you and Rupert seem to be doing a lot of rolling around in the rubble.
We are. Well, you see, we're being chased by a giant snake.
Ah, right. We've been watching a lot of attempts to kill this snake today.
We have. We keep failing.
And Ron's stuck under you, so he doesn't get to be the hero.
Hang on, no.
Oh.
We fall down together, and he protects me and holds me in a loving embrace as we're about to die.
It's quite a tight space where we have to fall in, and we're holding hands as well. And we have to kind of fall, kind of romantically as well. So.
Was that stage direction?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Well, yeah, she's got to kind of nestle into me, and it's quite cool. But
so, is that something that you coordinate with Emma? Right, this is how we're going to nestle. This is how we're going to do it full romantically.
Yeah, because this is after the kiss, all this stuff. So we're kind of a couple now.
All this rolling around and fighting, and you're going to get a few cuts and bruises along the way.
This was my addition, the sexy cut lip.
Hold on. That's something you did or something you asked for?
That was something that I asked for.
So you looked at it, so you thought, I've got to have...
I was like, if we're going to do this whole epic you know,
Beaten up
thing. I want a cut lip.
And you've got a great graze on your neck as well.
Well,
that's not
is-
love bite, wasn't it? Is it?
No.
Ron's been in
That
the
would have been
rubble
awkward. No, this is from Bellatrix. She tries to slit my throat, actually.
She's good like that, isn't she?
Yeah, she's pretty mean. Yeah.
I still find it incredible though, because looking at you, and I'm stood, you know,
Very close to you.
and it still looks so real. So
I know,
the scar on your neck or the cut on your lip.
It's funny because I forget. I wear it all day, and then I catch myself in the mirror, and I'm like, God, I look terrible. I look really bad. No, but it's fun. It's fun.
Sounds good. So I'm off to makeup to get a little injury of my own. So Amanda, what are you going to do to me?
So we're going to make you battle worn.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to give you, we have all these little pieces here that we've made up. So this would be like a hit that you could have had a punch underneath the eye. It could have been some falling debris. There's so many places that people could have got wounded in this battle. Majority probably from falling debris, from spells that the Death Eaters are putting on the castle.
Okay.
So we have a whole pizza box here of an array of different...
I didn't know pizza delivery did this sort of thing.
Bondo wounds.
Yeah.
It keeps them flat. So there's all sorts of different scrapes and grazes and things that we put on, and then we can colour them. And then, you know, then you can go out there and get covered in all the dirt.
See, the thing about the cuts though is, I mean, they must be sort of great fun to have on.
They love them for the first bit, and they all want the biggest cuts and the biggest wounds, and there's always a battle going on of who's got the best cut, and then that's fine for the first week, and after that, when they're in long makeups, like Neville gets really badly, and he's in makeup for quite a long time, and he's lost interest.
Has he?
Yeah, and now he wishes that he'd gone for something smaller, and so it sounds it's a good idea at the time, and there's a big sort of lots of scar envy goes on. Who's got the best scar?
There's a moral in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly.
After the break, as filming comes to a close, the stars reflect on growing up in the public eye.
In Kid Star's Top Trumps, we're worth nothing.
Nothing. And we find out how they're feeling about it all coming to an end.
I don't know. I guess I'm in denial.
Tell you what, you should see the other fella. It's nearly the end for Harry, Voldemort, the good, the bad and the ugly who populate the world created by J.K. Rowling in that cafe at the end of the last millennium, which means it's nearly the end for us too. The young stars of the films have grown from children to adults before our very eyes and have actually spent more than half their lives playing their characters. What's that been like watching them grow up?
Well, extraordinary, and they've great. It's been lovely, and a bit of a shock. You suddenly go, you know, like Rupert suddenly talking like this, and I remember Christopher Columbus saying he'd just been up in the cutting room, and they'd done the invisibility cloak bit, and Rupert had gone in talking like this, and then, of course, they'd shot when he came out. Months later, and he come out talking like this. So they had to...
He'd gone through puberty under the cloak.
He had.
Amazing thing happens in Harry Potter.
I know. Lots of people would like to go through puberty under a cloak, wouldn't they? It's such a difficult time. But when you see sort of clips from, like, the first one, The Philosopher's Stone, they're just so cute, aren't they? I'd forgotten they were like that. And now they're young men and young women. You can't help but feel maternal and seeing them grow up and thinking they're going out into the world now. It's like, it feels like that, you know, you feel sort of want to protect them and a bit. So there's a bit of that feeling. I'd never say that to them.
No.
No, don't tell anyone.
No.
But
From the very beginning, Dan, Rupert and I have been made aware that I almost feel like we were ticking bombs that the public just expected, you know, as you said, about this time, you know, around now, they'll be losing it. But I think it's a number of different things. I think it's the English film industry is very different from Hollywood. And I think this particular environment, the fact that we've had, you know, a solid base, Leavesden Studios, we've just been incredibly sheltered. We're not part of a bigger